Hi, everyone, and welcome to Bible Sense for Living, our weekly guide for winning in life and business. Sure, you're all doing good. Happy new month. So tell someone to tell another person to join. We are live and we'll be starting in a bit. So tell someone to tell another person to join. We'll be starting in about a minute. So good to have you all here. Happy new month to all of you. Happy new month. Happy new month. All right. Excellent. So good to have you all here. Without wasting much time, I'm actually in transit and I need to get this done as quickly as possible. So we've been examining how to develop your life plan. I did mention that if you would love to have my life plan template, then just go on my bio and click to register to be a part of the Tribe of Wealthy Origin Basic, and that's where you'll get the life plan templates. I'm not sharing the life plan template yet, and the only people I'm sharing the life plan template with are those who are members of the Tribe of Wealthy Origin, right? When I started to hear great men and successful men and women talk about how they had 50-year plan, 30-year plan. Those days it used to be a mystery. And when I eventually cracked the code and found a way around it and developed a 30-year plan myself, and the first 10 years elapsed 2021, I'm on the second 10 years right now. And so what I'm sharing with you are exactly the same framework I use, to develop a plan. One of the key reasons a lot of people hardly plan is simply because they feel there are many things you can't control, and that's true. There are several things you can't control, but there are some other things you can control. You see, the way life functions is that if you focus on the things you have power to control, the ones you don't have power to control eventually it lines up or align, with what you have power to control. And so the idea behind developing a life plan is essentially so that you create the things you have power to control, and then then the aspects of life you have no power to control, right? You take it to your creator. I did share with us on the page framework for developing a plan. All right. And if you missed that particular, I think that was the second or third week of this particular series. And this is the 9th week, so I can't do any recap. So I would recommend, if you missed any of the past editions, I would recommend you go on my YouTube channel, Oladipupo Clement, and subscribe and turn on the notification button and watch those previous editions. And of course, there are several other phenomenal video content that you can take advantage of. All right, so we began looking at the various compartments of our lives we need to plan for. Apologies, I'm not going to be responding to your happy new month, good morning, and all of that. And the reason is simple, because so much to cover and so little time to get them done. So permit me to just get right into it. Okay. So we started looking at the various compartments of our lives that we need to plan for. One of which is your spiritual health plan. We did establish that whatever is healthy is bound to grow. So if you want growth in your life, then what you should strive for is health. Okay. And again, whatever is healthy is bound to grow. We also established that, in developing a life plan, you only simply set goals for these critical compartments of your life, and then build a set of activities or tasks around it. That's essentially what make up a plan. You recall, for those of you who've been following this particular series, that I did mention the quotable quote by Greg Reed. He said, a dream written down with a date becomes a goal. A goal broken down into steps becomes a plan. A plan backed by action is what makes your dream come true. So whatever dreams you have, once it is concretized through documentation, right, and you tie it to a date, it becomes a goal. When you break down that goal into set of tasks, break down those goals into set of steps and tasks or activities, then it becomes a plan. Those plans, when you execute them, is what eventually makes your dream come true. That's essentially the concept upon which we we develop not just only our life plan, but other aspects of our lives. And we also established that one of the key reasons why I recommend having a life plan is because it's way more superior to just having a business plan or family plan or financial plan or business plan and what have you, right? Because a life plan is way more holistic, so it captures all the critical components or compartments of your life. And once that is sorted, once that is taken care of, you find a path, and there's a connection between all those compartments of your life. So one, if well taken care of, fits the other. All right, so that's pretty much what we've looked at. And so far we've looked at your spiritual health plan, we've looked at your emotional, intellectual, and mental health plan. That was the second part. And then we looked at the physical health plan, and then last week we looked at the relational health plan. All right, so your spiritual health plan refers to your relationship, your vertical relationship, your relationship with your creator. That's critical. That's the core. That's what defines you. When God was to create plants, he called them out of the soil, right? In order for plants to continue to sustain and to stay alive, they have to stay rooted in the soil. When God was to create fishes, and the aquatic animals, he called them out of water. And in order for them to stay alive, they have to stay rooted in water. All right. When God was to create you and I, he called us out of himself. And in order for us to stay alive, we have to stay rooted in God. So anything that disconnects us from God ultimately, frustrates us, and we eventually die. Once you die spiritually, you are alienated and you are disconnected from the true source of inspiration, the true source of creativity and innovation. All right, so you don't want to underplay your spiritual health plan, and so you need to have a plan. I wouldn't dwell too much on that because we've dwelt extensively on that. The second one is your emotional, intellectual, and mental health plan. That has more to do with your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your soul. All right, so man is a spirit, he has a soul, and he lives in the body. So man is a spirit. That's what connects you back to your creator. Your soul is what helps you to transmit what you get from the spirit into physical or concrete reality. All right, so your emotional health plan, your intellectual and mental health plan, all are critical aspects, and we touch on that essentially. And of course, your physical health plan talks about your relationship with your body. All right, so what helps you to relate and interact with this terrestrial world is your physical body. It's a means of identification. It's also a means of connection. All right, so this is very, 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 very important, and that's what makes you the authority figure in this part of eternity. All right, and then last week we went on to look at your relational health plan, which talks about your horizontal relationship, your relationship with family, friends, and foe. All right, so relationship with people in essence. And then today we want to look at your ministry, business, or career health plan. Your ministry, business, or career health plan. And you see, the reason this is so important, I did mention last week that if you observe the sequence with which we arrange these health plans is such that one takes care of the other. So this order is so important, and I'm referring to it because it's been intentionally arranged in sequence, because one is supposed to take care of the next. All right, so your spiritual health plan, if you are in proper shape spiritually, if you are spiritually healthy, it will help your emotional, mental, intellectual health. All right, if you are healthy in those other two compartments, it impacts on your physical health as well. If you are healthy in this first three compartments, it also helps. It's everything that makes for you who you are is what you take into your relationships. All right, so that's very, very important. And then the quality of your relationships along with who you are is also what impacts on your ministry, business, and career health plan. So you see, your ministry, business, and career health plan. I said that because there are those of you who may be listening to me and you are ministers. Some of you are clergymen or women, and some of you are businessmen, entrepreneurs, and some of us here are professionals, all right? Or you may be all of this, all right? So there are some of us who are both ministry people, you know, we're business people, we're also career people at the same time. So it's important that we establish that if you only function in one part, we're speaking to the same thing. But essentially, your ministry health, your ministry, career, and business health plan refers to your relationship with the marketplace. All right. So this is so important. It refers to your relationship with the marketplace, and this also talks more about your source of income and source of impact. I'm going to repeat that again. Your relationship with the marketplace is what this particular health plan is about, and it speaks to your source of income and impact. All right, so I need to reiterate that life is not just about income. As important as income is to your life, it's not just about income, right? It's also about impact. All right, what gives you your highest level of fulfillment is actually the impact that you are making. All right, so this is so important. The scripture says in Proverbs 27 and verse 23 to 27, it says, "Be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks." He said, "And look well to thy herds." He said, "For riches are not forever, and doth the crown endure to every generation." He said, "The hay appeareth, and the tender grass sheweth itself, and the herbs of the mountains are gathered." He said, "The lambs are for thy clothing,